I love that song so much.
That is wild. I mean, I love that. The drums, the percussion, and layering on there's just very heavy vocals and the guitar part on top of that. Whoa.
That's what I think is really cool about this is that it's got the guitars that feel very metal, but the rest of the instrumentation feels very African tribal in the way that it's put together, which I think is really cool with the more kind of tribal sounding percussion and the way that the harmonies in the vocals are done and the bit of like call and response type stuff too. It all feels very culturally significant to, you know, the type of music that has come out of that area previously, and I really like how they bring it all together.
It's hard for me to tell, but it felt like it was still in like a more traditional time signature, like 4/4, but I could be wrong there. I'm terrible at counting those things out, but I would totally be down to listen to more and find I want to hear how a band like that would handle those more traditional like time signatures that like a lot
This
of
whole album is fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. And I think that I was hearing it in 4, but there were definitely some things like there was a like cowbell sounding type instrument that was doing like some cool polyrhythmic type of stuff. I think that was more of what it was more than being in a different time signature, was just that it was very polyrhythmic and had a lot of syncopation in it.
Yeah, especially with the percussion parts there that the guitars were layered over between the cowbell and the I want to say shakers and like woodblock. But then coming in with the traditional drum kit on top of that was just it just jumped back and forth so much. It was really cool.
The other thing that that it reminds me of that I think is really cool as far as bridging more traditional musical stylings of an area with metal is, do you remember a couple of years ago when the band The Who had a song with Jacoby Shaddix of Papa Roach? Do you remember that at all?
I can't say I do, no.
So they were a Mongolian metal band that incorporated like Mongolian throat singing and stuff like that.
The Who, yes, of course. The Mongolian throat singing band, yeah.
Yeah. And so this reminds me a lot of that, where it's metal that is infused with the traditional musical stylings of the area that it's from, that I think is really, really interesting.
It's just, I see, that's the kind of stuff that I was really hoping for with this too, is like finding these different, very different culturally, significant beats.
Culturally unique.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's so cool. Gonna have to check them out more.
Yeah, like I said, this whole album is very, very good. There were a lot of other metal bands from Africa. Like I was kind of like looking at a list of them. A lot of them were older and not active anymore, seemingly. So these guys seem to still be active, which I thought was a plus, as well as this very unique sound. Because a lot of the other bands are doing like, kind of traditional death metal and stuff like that, which is cool. But I thought that this was very, very unique. So I wanted to shine a light on this a bit. So what is our next tune going to be?
Okay, so our next song is Paralumen, I think. It is by an artist named Addy. I think it's from the Philippines.
I think.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so here we go.